Hello, everybody, and welcome to our final circle chat of the Circle Couch Potato Queens Reality Realness. How are you doing today, Chantele?
I mean, this has been a whole week of completion. You know, the challenge finally finished. It's 21 episodes, so that's done. Big Brother Canada finished its 29 episodes, that done. And the Circle finished its 13 episodes. That's come to completion. And I'm just really happy to have some endings and some conclusions. So I feel great.
Oh, I know. Totally. I mean, the Circle always goes by so quickly because it's only 4 weeks. But there was so much packed into these 4 weeks that it really felt like a well-deserved ending. Like, it feels like we've been through so much with this cast.
So really much. Does. The one thing I wish that we got the episodes every day, because I actually prefer watching it and like, oh, what's happening tomorrow? Oh, what's happening next? Like, you know, and like, yeah. I feel like the momentum would be a bit better. It is a decent binge, but sometimes like, I'm like, oh man, I have to watch 4 hours of this right now. And so I do wish that they spread it out like they do in the UK, where it's like every single day I'm watching an episode and then I have like a little break on Saturday. Oh, yeah, you've only binged them? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. They release them every day.
Oh, that's cool. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. So I just like that.
Prefer that.
Definitely then doing a binge and then doing a recap on 4 episodes right away. Like, you can still do the recap on all of them, but like I do like the pace a little bit better to digest what went on, and I retain a little bit more, I think, too. I'm like, oh, that happened? Oh yeah, it was 4 hours ago.
I can see that, because I feel like what ends up happening when they drop 4 episodes is I just sit on my couch for 4 hours and I watch 4 episodes.
Because you're a couch potato queen.
I am. I grow roots. I plant into my couch. Another one of me spawns.
Exactly.
Exactly. I will say, though, that I did prefer this season overall to season 1 of US.
Oh my God. Absolutely. Like, like there's no contest here. Like, it was like night and day. I mean, I think because I originally started watching, so I watched the Circle 1 and 2 from the UK. So it was the Circle 1. I just heard about it and I just binged that. But Circle 2 then started and I watched that live with them. And then obviously I watched season 1 and I was like a little bit underwhelmed because I think it's the casting. I do prefer the UK casting better. Yeah. And like they have the banter, like they're just funnier people to watch.
They have tattoos.
Exactly. They're just like a little bit more different, right? And so then I watched season 3 and the celebrity version, and I was like, oh my God, it's so good. And so I would say that this one does hold up, but I'm still a little bit of a fan of the British version or the UK version a little bit better.
I feel like the UK version is more of a game, if that makes sense, whereas the US version ends up being like, we're all a big family and it's the OGs versus the intruders. Is what it kind of ends up feeling like. It was definitely more that season 1, but there was a little bit of that vibe season 2 as well.
I could see that. Yeah, maybe it's just like different US sentiment of like, you know, social experiments. It's a little bit different than in the UK, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
But definitely better than season 1. Hopefully, I think they've already wrapped season 3. I heard. I don't know if that's a hot take or lies or, you know, real spoiler, but I've heard that they've already filmed it.
Yeah, I feel like they filmed a bunch really close together. Like they got the okay to film like after COVID restrictions raised, and then they're like, we're just knocking out a bunch of these bad boys right now. I feel like that's
pretty smart, because like it's a hit. And Netflix just keep doing more.
I think I heard Survivor's doing a similar thing where like once they start, they're just like knocking out a bunch.
Didn't Survivor? I don't know what's going on with Survivor. I hear things back and forth, like 41's done, but then I heard 41 hasn't started, so I don't even know.
I can't even keep track of it.
Fair. Me neither. I don't know.
Let's get into this finale. So we the first thing that happens is we get Mitchell's goodbye message, and I felt like Mitchell's goodbye message was kind of like pointed a little bit. Like it was definitely like bitter jury vibes for me.
Yeah, I think that, he had a really good plan that was about to happen, that Trevor kind of was like, you have to do this, let's do the master plan, these are the steps. And we talked about it last week, but I think it would have worked if they had just started a few days earlier, even like a week earlier, one blocking earlier, something. I think that it would have worked. And I think that he was a little bit upset that it didn't get a chance to work because it was working. Like he did make that connection with Chloe. He did, like build something with Trevor. There were going to be this new trifecta that was happening. And so because it was a little bit too little too late, I think that he was disappointed that he didn't get to stay longer and make it to the finale. So I get why he's annoyed. I'm sure he's assuming that either River or Courtney were the ones that were the super influencer. Like he knew that that's what was happening, and that he was on the right track to try to get them out. And so I think he just felt that like he knew what was happening, but he couldn't stop it.
Totally. Yeah. He did drop the bomb that the Joker was still in the game, and he was correct, but it didn't really seem like anyone cared.
Yeah, no one really. I mean, I guess because the Joker was trying to pretend that like it was Emily. So I guess, I don't know, maybe they just didn't show it I'm not sure why that nothing came of it. I'm not sure.
I guess no one really cared because Courtney as the Joker did not target any of these people other than Jack.
Right, and saying bad things about Chloe.
Yeah, and I think that Chloe kind of didn't realize that the Joker was anti-Chloe.
Well, yeah, she does, because at the actual dinner, she was like, when she found out who it was, she did say like, well, why were you saying all these horrible things about me? And he just said a little thing. He's like, oh, I wanted you to think it was Emily. And like, we didn't hear any more about it though. I would have loved to have them gone down that road a little bit further so I can hear like them hash that out a little bit more.
Totally. I feel like as much as like everyone loves Chloe and as much as I love Chloe, I feel like Chloe lacks in like the gameplay of it all. Yeah. Like Chloe is like, her social game is like so on. She's so likable. Obviously, she's fan favorite. So it's like, she's so there in that aspect, but when it gets to like, okay, I need to like figure out who the Joker is, and there was like some gameplay going on, Chloe just like checks out.
Yeah, she's just kind of like, okay, I got my alliance, I'm good. Yeah, just be loyal. It's fine.
Yeah, and I mean, go off. Got her to the end.
If she was a little bit more strategic, she might have been able to pull out the win a little bit more. But
because then she would have gotten Courtney out, and Courtney was really the person that cost her the win in the end.
Would you say?
Yeah, so and we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but this is something that I mean, who cares? This is the circle chat where we do what we want. Yeah. And I pulled up on Reddit earlier because there's not, surprisingly, they never actually showed what everyone's votes were.
Yeah, so they're supposed to show like on Friday, or so yesterday they should have released the list. I haven't found it, but I did a recap about the circle with Rob as a podcast. And so Taryn kind of sussed out what he thinks the final blocking results was. So we can maybe compare it to see if it was the same as Reddit.
Yeah, because I did some digging on Reddit.
Yes, get that magnifying glass out.
I've compared a couple of different Reddit hot takes, and I kind of looked at a few of them and then come up with my own thoughts on what it would be.
So we'll see if it's the same as what we were deducting here.
Let's hear. What do you have for Chloe's votes?
Chloe put Trevor in first, River second, Courtney third, and John fourth.
I have the same thing.
Cool. And then Trevor is the reverse of that. So putting Chloe first and then River, John, Courtney.
Yeah, same thing.
River, Taryn had Courtney first, Trevor second, Chloe third, John fourth.
Yep. Look at us.
John had Trevor first, Courtney second, Chloe third, River fourth.
Yep.
And then Courtney had John first, Chloe second, River third, Trevor fourth.
Look at us. It's
There we go. Okay, so we'll just assume that is correct. There's a couple things that could change, but I don't think it would. Like, I believe if John put River third and Courtney put Chloe third, like if that flipped around, it's going to be the same. But I just don't think so with how I know John and Courtney that they would have done that. So I'm pretty confident that this is how they would have ranked.
Totally. And so on this Reddit thing that I was seeing, people are saying that there's like a point system for how it worked with like first being 10 points, second being 8 points, third being 5 points, fourth being 1 point.
Okay, so can you add up those points? I just want to see what that looks like.
So then it would be Trevor at 29 points for the win, Chloe with 1 point behind at 28 points, Courtney with 24 points, River behind 1 point at 23 points, and then John at 20 points. So if so it's not Courtney who cost the win. I was wrong there. So it's it was Trevor that cost Chloe that win.
I think actually it would have been River that cost Chloe the win, because River put Trevor second and Chloe third. And so when you said the points were 10, 8, 6, and 4, was that what you said?
10, 8, 5, 4, or 10, 8, 5, 1.
1. Oh, 1's bad. Okay. Because Trevor put Chloe ahead. So River gave Trevor 8 points and Chloe 5 points. So I think that there's a big discrepancy to give Trevor a lot more points than Chloe. And then also with John ranking Trevor higher than Chloe, I think also really affected Chloe not getting that many points.
Yeah, because it's wild to see Chloe really only lose by 1 point. You know, if she had gotten one person to place her one
position higher. Yeah, one position. Like if River put her second, she would have won. If John put her third or second, she would have won. And if Courtney put her first, obviously, then she would have won.
Yeah. And what really is wild to me as well is that Trevor pulled out this win, getting a 4th place from Courtney.
She stayed high for everybody else. She was either first or second for everybody other than Courtney. So she was getting maximum points for pretty much everyone. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
So Latasha, no, it is not ranked. We're just kind of piecing together what we think happened from Rob Has a Podcast detective work and a little bit of our own detective work. That's kind of what we're going off of right now.
I mean, I feel that it's quite logical. Yeah, I do feel like these are the correct responses, especially the numbers add up, literally. And the fact, like, it makes sense with how I think that they would have ranked people. You know, River said that in the end he was voting with his heart, not with his head. So, you know, of course, then he's putting Courtney there in number 1 position. And like he had made a bond with Trevor, and Chloe was a Kardashian, but he probably wanted Trevor or Courtney to win a little bit more. That's actually maybe a little bit interesting, though. I could have seen River putting Chloe second just because of the Kardashians. Yeah. But maybe a little bit of gameplay came into question there, being like, well, if I put Chloe there second, like she might win. So maybe he was trying to avoid that from happening.
Yeah. Are you surprised at all that Courtney put John first?
No, because that's probably the most tactical way to vote, to rank. And remember, we were kind of speculating that maybe John could win this if everybody was voting like to win. They should be like, oh, I don't think that anybody else would put John first, so if I want to win, let's put John first. So yeah, no, I think that it was the way to rank.
Yeah. I
definitely.
mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I do think that Courtney putting John in first did bump Courtney above River.
Yes, 100%.
I think that Courtney fully dictated River's fourth place.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, it's also interesting that Courtney put Trevor in last and Trevor put Courtney in last. Like, okay, they definitely didn't want each other to win.
I know. I feel like Delisa was wrong to think that Courtney was her biggest competition.
You do?
Yeah, I don't think that Courtney.
I think it might have been more so because him and River were so tight. It's kind of like how him and Chloe were so tight. Like, yeah. I think that just worried about having those guaranteed number one votes. Maybe that's what she was kind of more concerned about, was like she knew that he had somebody that was going to be putting him in the number one spot.
Yeah. Oh, hey, since our third pal Josh is not with us today, for anyone watching, Josh is with his family today for Mother's Day, so shout out to Josh's family. So everybody who has not watched UK season 3 and is planning on it, now would be the time to mute us right now, because I am going to talk about a little season 3 UK spoiler. It's wild to me how much this parallels UK 3.
100%. We're just going to get to it. We're going to say it. We're going to talk about it.
Oh, we're going to say it. We're going to talk about it. Gag, all of it.
I'm wondering if this is how we get a woman to win. Is that a woman acting as a man that is posing as a showman with one of the real women in the circle? Because this is the second time it's happened now that they won.
Within the past year?
Yeah. And with them, basically, because if Trevor hadn't put her, like if Chloe hadn't put Trevor in that number one spot, any other spot, she would have won. And same with Manrika. If Manrika had not put Felix in the number one spot, she would have won the game. And so it's very interesting that 2 times in a row now, their catfish lovers have won because of the romance that they've created with the woman.
Exactly. And part of me is like, man, what does this say about society as a whole? But then also I'm like, girl, get your bag.
Right? Stop giving your bag to the man. Like, don't put him in number one if you want to win.
I know. I'm like, I feel bad for the Chloes and the Manrikas of the world, but then I'm like, yes, girl, make the system work for you, for the Natalias and the Delisas of the world.
Yes, exactly. I mean, yes, but I was kind of like, for both of them, I don't like the fact that they got duped so badly.
Yeah.
You know, I wish that, sorry, go ahead.
I feel like Delisa was duping Chloe less than Natalia was duping Manrika, though.
Right. Yes. Like Natalia was just like, yes, and we'll like date and we'll go off in the sunset. We'll have picnics. We'll go on vacation. Like she was just like, oh my God, you're saying everything that I want to hear. Yeah. And that should be the big tip off, is that like, if you're saying everything that they want to hear, like
they're not real.
It's probably a catfish. I mean, I just wish that they just put them in second place. Just do that. Just second place. Just second. It's okay.
So anybody watching, if you ever get on the circle and you're in a showmance, put your man in second place.
Exactly. Please, if you want to win, anyways. Because I do feel
second place.
That Manrika, I think that she played a really strong, hard game. And so, and I get it that it's a little more challenging to play a catfish, but I would have preferred Manrika to win that season. I was kind of more annoyed by Natalia. And yeah, I would have rather.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about who should have won that, I think Saeed should have won that.
I mean, fine. Yes. I would have been very happy if Saeed had won.
Yeah, the finale was amazing. There was so much going on there. And I love your little icon. I love oh my God, I forget the name of the show, but the show about those children in the woods from Disney Channel. So work.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it
Let me know. Remind me of the name of the show in the comments. Gravity Falls. That's it. I got it. Yeah, no, the Saeed won that season.
Yes, he was great, but I thought that Manrika, look at you go, Alex, look at you go. You are on it. I've never heard of it at all, so maybe I'll look it up.
It's cute.
It's cute?
Yeah, it's cute.
For what ages? I do have twin nieces and nephews, but they're only 3.
So it's like 4 kids, but like I full on watched it as an adult and I was here for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me check it out. I'll check it out. See how I feel. Mm-hmm.
Disney Plus, baby.
Okay, done. Check. Where's my notes though? There was some stuff about the episode that I thought was interesting. I was curious, what do you think? Do you think that they had hair and makeup people come in and give them a little zhuzh? Because not that I don't think that they could have done their hair and makeup that well, but it was quite well done for, like the perfect curls. And the makeup was like perfect. I know Chloe's lashes are like false, like they're actually like,
yeah, like she gets them done.
Yeah. So
I think Delisa is fully capable of making herself look that good.
That's true. We saw her make up that mannequin and that curly and calculated photo or picture.
I think Delisa's artistic and makeup skills are on point enough that Delisa could do that. But I do full on think that Lee was wearing makeup.
I believe it.
I full on think that Lee had on makeup. So, and I think they might have done that because the meeting room that they're in is really dark. And so I feel like they probably needed to put some kind of like stage makeup, or not stage makeup, like film like camera makeup on. Because they had to probably use like overhead lighting, you know what I mean? Or like some kind of like camera lighting or something. Yeah, Delisa looked snatched.
Yeah, she's a stunning lady. Friggin', she looks very good.
Mm-hmm. When Delisa meets Chloe for the first time, and Chloe's like, "You're a catfish!" No. But then Delisa fully hits her with, "There's room for a third in our marriage." I was like, shoot your shot, girl.
I mean, I really don't think that's for reals, but like, I thought it was hilarious. It's like, okay, you guys are gonna let little Chlo into your bedroom.
But like, imagine.
Well, speaking of which, it actually kind of was a bit of a threesome because Delisa found out that she was pregnant while in the circle. And so now she's like ready to pop. She's probably like 8 or like 9 months pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
She's looking ready to go. And she bought a house already with her. They moved to Georgia and they bought a house. So I was pretty happy that this is how things concluded. I felt that not that there's anybody more deserving than someone else, but she was definitely a well-deserved win.
Oh, totally. I mean, like, I want to be like, I would have been happy with anybody, but like, no, I wanted Delisa to win.
Me too. I wanted her to win, and I thought she was going to win because I did think that she may get a lot of second places, which would have been better than people that were in first going to last. And so I did think that she was going to win.
Yeah, the best person did truly win. I feel like the circle is kind of guilty of always having the best person get second place.
Yes, that's true. So this is the first time that the catfish, well, I guess, oh no, you haven't watched the UK season 1.
Not yet. I don't mind a spoiler.
No, I just was saying like that just, I don't mind usually the catfish winning. I just didn't like it for season 3 of the UK one. I wanted Manrika or Saeed to be the winners there. Yeah. I didn't like Natalia, but
yeah, because even though Saeed was a catfish,
I don't know, he felt like a real person.
Yeah, and like you're just playing like a goofy version of yourself.
Yes, like some people were coming for him saying that like he shouldn't have been doing the accent. And I'm like, what? Like, I love the fact that he was really getting into his real uncle's personality and like how he would probably say things. And so I love the fact that he was emulating him like so well. But people were like, oh, you know, he's making fun of an accent. And I'm like, people just like,
that's a member of his family.
Right?
Like, if I went on and I did that accent, please attack me and come for me. Cancel me. Ruin my life.
Exactly. But him doing it is definitely, in my opinion, very much allowed. And he has before.
If that is your family, girl, you do whatever you want. It's fine.
Yes, exactly.
Season 3 has already been filmed, right? I wonder if there will be, I wonder if the run of good winners will continue. I think that's what we were saying, is that season 3 has been filmed.
So it would be very interesting if another woman posing as a man won because of their showmance, put them in number 1. Like, because they wouldn't have learned now. They wouldn't have most likely have seen the ending of this or the ending of the UK. So
I feel like the casting and the showrunners probably are going to be like, no, we can't let this happen again. Like, this isn't a good look for us.
Or they can. So you don't think it's a good look?
I feel like
they love the dupe, don't they?
In a row, they're going to be like, we can't have a showman's catfish man winner again. You know, like, we can't have a woman winning because she's playing a man.
Yeah, I mean, optically, that's not great.
I feel like I feel like we might not see our beloved woman catfishing as hot guy that we usually see. We might get another like Adam from season 1, where it's like weird guy catfishing as hot guy.
Okay, I mean, I don't. It's the weird guy catfishing a hot guy. I'm just not really into that because it never works because they don't have game.
Like, there's a reason that you're weird guy. I am a weird guy. I could not catfish as hot guy.
No.
I'd be like, so tell me about your favorite Bigfoot sighting video. And they'd be like, you've never been in a gym.
Oh my God, exactly. They just need to they stay close to who you are because, like, the hot guy, you're not a hot guy. But what did he say? Like, he was saying something about.
Oh, it was so weird. It was like, I'm very aroused or something. It was, yeah, it was weird. Like, I came on way too strong.
Yeah, it wasn't good. And I was like, oh boy, like, this is now working. You're not selling anybody. Like, you become very creepy very quickly.
I know. I want the circle to like stop having like weird people catfish as hot people. It's just like uncomfortable. It's weird. And I'm like, we need to get out of this. I want to see like a hot person catfish is just like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. That would be kind of fun.
I know. I'm like, where is like the fucking like Instagram model, like 10 out of 10 being like, I'm gonna catfish as like a random motorcycle dad. You know, like, I want to see that.
I know, but maybe they're worried about like somebody that society says is like, you know, perfection, making fun of people that might be considered as less than.
I can see that. I mean, as long as they're not like making themselves look stupid, you know, would be normal.
I mean, they wouldn't be able to be. I wouldn't be able to be normal if I was a motorcycle dad. I'd be such a weirdo.
Yeah, I'd be like, my hog.
I mean, it would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Well, I think hopefully people will be more creative with their catfishes because, yeah, the tropes of the hot guy or the, you know, unattractive guy, you know, posing as the hot guy. It's just like, okay, I roll. Like, it's not going to work. I don't believe you.
I know. I feel like the circle's getting like less and less horny every season. And like, and I'm like kind of missing like the horniness of like season 1 US where everyone was just like so thirsty for everybody in the circle. because that was just so goofy and weird.
I guess. Well,
go ahead.
Was everybody not single in this one? So like Chloe was pretty thirsty. Mitchell was slightly thirsty.
Who?
Mitchell was slightly thirsty. Only for Chloe, really.
But Delisa, they were like the only people that were like interested.
But
like literally,
Mitchell was the only straight guy, and Savannah and Teralicia were kind of out the door pretty quickly.
Yeah, and Kat didn't really seem interested in anybody.
Yeah, like Mitchell maybe, but I don't think they would have needed to be maybe more straighter by men in there.
Like there wasn't really any options ever for there to be like showmances other than
Trevor and Chloe.
Trevor and Chloe.
I mean, so that was inevitable because there weren't a lot of single and ready to mingle men in there, and so Chloe's just like dibs. Yeah. She also got dibs. She basically did call it. She's like, yeah, I'm already into him. Like, we're already dating.
I loved that. That was such a flex.
Sorry, he's fine.
You claim your catfish, girl. You do it.
Oh, poor Chloe.
You claim it. I know. I've loved seeing all of the posts that the cast have been making like since the show's ended. They're all like hanging out. Like
Savannah and Teralicia though still just don't get it. Like
drop it.
This has made me dislike both of them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Definitely Savannah, I'm not a fan of. I'm sorry, Savannah. You're gorgeous. I really liked you in the beginning, but the fact that she hasn't been able to recognize what her doing is for the whole situation. Like she said, like, oh yeah, like I'm totally like, I've apologized for my part, but I don't think she actually has.
No.
Like literally all she would have needed to have done to have completely avoided her being blocked and that whole situation is after she chose Trevor, go to Chloe and say, Chloe, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to make a headway with Trevor. Like we had a really good conversation and I wanted him to know that like we were good now. And I knew that me and Teralicia were going to be influencers. And so we would save you and we wouldn't be exposing to everybody that the girl gang exists. That's all she needed to say.
Yeah.
And everything would have been A-okay. But instead, like she didn't. She wanted to get Chloe out and she's never really admitted that. And she's still kind of going like, well, I stand by with like what like everything I did in the game.
Like stop having such a big ego that you're gonna like die on this hill.
Right?
Like, y'all were second and third out. Like it's not that serious.
Well, yeah, and it's like you want to win? Like, why wouldn't you or Teralicia change anything you've done in your game? Like
you were out second and third. You probably should.
If you want to win, like, wasn't that the intention here? So, Teralicia, I mean,
it obviously wasn't for the friends you made along the way.
Right? Teralicia, like, I do feel that she's more in the right, but I also feel that she's not great at articulating her point. And so I'm just like, oh, just shut up then. If you're not going to like say what you need to say effectively, it's not helping the situation. It's just kind of making it still stay there and just stop it. So
totally. The whole thing is just weird that like it still even was happening because like we got into this finale and they like mentioned something like, oh, Teralicia, Savannah, how are you feeling? I'm like, why are we still talking about this? It feels like a different season. It feels like not even the same universe anymore. Like we are beyond this. And then Courtney's like running up to Savannah and hugging her. I'm like, I forgot that Courtney even cared about Savannah.
I know, and like it made me Courtney, but it made me not like him as much because he just was like on the Savannah train. But like I really think that Teralicia was more so in the right about that whole situation. And he was just always like one track mind about certain things that, it was weird, Latasha, that she's a teacher. She wasn't really able to articulate her thoughts very well. And I was just like, come on, girl, like get it together.
It's your one job.
It's to like explain things to people. So yeah, no, Courtney still so excited. Like, and even in some after interviews, he was just like, "Oh my God, she's my girl. Like, I talk to her every day. Like, she's more beautiful now than she was even before." And I'm like, really? She doesn't really come across to me as a kind, lovely person. She's kind of a little bit bitchy in my opinion, and a little bit like,
I don't know. I've always been kind of team Teralicia in this. Like, I'm kind of team neither of them, honestly, but if I had to pick a side, I would be team Teralicia. I think Teralicia had some really good game moves in the beginning where I cannot say the same about Savannah.
Exactly.
The only good game move she had was befriending Courtney, which I don't even think was a game move.
That, and like, it could have been a decent game move to get Trevor on her side by like saving him, but she tanked her whole game by not explaining that to people that she had made some sort of arrangements with already. So
yeah, exactly. It was
womp. It sucks.
So now that we've kind of discussed the finale, yeah, we see Trevor be victorious. Everyone's so happy for Trevor. Lee does not get his pool. Sorry, Lee.
I feel like he might be popular.
Oh, Lee is popular, honey.
They love her. Yes, I like that. He really grew on me. I didn't necessarily love him and River in the very beginning, but in the end, I was like, Lee, you're my favorite. I think, like, one of my favorites. I like Lee.
I think Lee probably was close in the fan favorite vote. I think so.
Should have been.
I know.
Great.
I mean, definitely. Chloe is an awesome fan favorite.
I also really like, though, how with Lee, how he said that he realized when he was playing River, he started to be playing himself when he was 24. And I thought that was really cool that, like, you know, we talk about art imitates life and, like, you know, artists, like, bring themselves into the role, like, all this stuff, for sure. And it's true. But this actually happened. Like, he's a writer that was writing this story about River, and then it ended up being writing this story about himself, his youth.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm down.
I love that. And I love that Courtney and Lee are so close. Because they've talked on Instagram and stuff about how they talk every day. And I'm like, that's cute.
That is cute.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, I guess. I'm not a fan of Courtney anymore. I'm sorry, Courtney. I mean, maybe I will now, because like I want to go and check out his YouTube stuff and see, because he wants to be doing interviews in entertainment and stuff, and so that's like a wheelhouse that like I really like that avenue. So I will follow him and see if I enjoy his content. But
yeah, I feel like my big problem with Courtney is really his alignment with Savannah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, man, I don't want to like judge someone for who they're friends with, but like, really?
Yeah, and like, you know, doing the whole Joker thing was like to get Emily, or like, I don't know, just like I felt that him doing all that for Savannah, and I was just like, if he didn't do all that for Savannah, he may have been able to win. Because he would have been focusing on maybe building relationships with people. Like, I would have used the Joker to make Courtney or myself look like I was the best person, everybody's favorite friend. Like, you should go and get in with him because everybody loves it. Like, something.
Yeah.
I would have used it to my advantage, not to negatively disadvantage somebody else. So
yeah, like, why are you going to use your advantage to do someone's bidding who's out of the game?
Right?
Like, that's not going to help you because they're gone.
Exactly.
I feel like Courtney kind of squandered that power a little bit. Something that I've been thinking about with the circle, because I've been watching Australian Survivor, which is fierce.
Okay, yeah. Well, where are you at? Which season are you watching?
I finished season 2.
Okay, and sorry, spoiler alert, who wins that one? Just so I can remember which season that is.
Jericho.
I love Jericho and Lukey.
Such an iconic season. The cookies. Yeah. I created an army of shields. I love it. Everyone thought I was sweet, but I'm really a villain. I'm like, okay. I wanted to root for Courtney, but he was overall mean and annoying. I don't care for that yak. Very that.
Yes, Latasha, I'm with you here. I even feel bad saying that I wasn't a fan of Courtney, but I really just wasn't. I was kind of like, he made me feel a little bit cringe, you know?
Yeah. So something I was thinking about now that I'm watching this Survivor season at the same time that I was watching Circle is I'm like, you know what would be cool is if instead of doing this final ranking that the players who are in did, I'd love it if they had kind of like a jury moment where they got to pitch their game to the jury. Because I feel like that's something that we miss in the Circle is that moment where they get to be like, these are my moves. This is what I did. This is why my game was so good. And this is what I did to get there. Like we get that moment where they all meet, but they don't ever get to like pitch their game. They get to say like, this is what I would do with the money and like tug on the heartstrings.
They did a little bit with the campaign.
Yeah, I guess they do.
But you wanted a little bit more like structured. It's like,
yeah, okay. Like it's hard then because then you're not voting for the profile to win, you're voting for the player to win. But I feel
I see. So it's after the fact, everything is revealed that like who was playing as a catfish and you're like, oh, your game was good.
Like, how would you feel about, like, I don't know if I'm like, that's how it should be. I'm just like thinking about it. Like, how do you feel about if there was some kind of like jury element to the Circle? Like that was taken into account. You know what I mean?
With people that know who these players actually are. So like maybe they'd find like, so the first 7 evicted or blocked, they would see all the people and who, if they're catfishes or not. And then they would maybe have like a vote of some sort, or they would also give a ranking.
Yeah, like it could be like one collective jury ranking is also taken into the numbers as well. Like the jury gets one ranking as well.
I don't know if that would work, only because it's about being the influencer, right?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily about who's playing the best game; it's who's the most popular. So I just think it's a different show.
Yeah, that's true, because your game doesn't really matter in the Circle. It's just about like
getting the win, like getting super influencer or influencer or getting the winning votes in the end. So
yeah,
it's not really about
I guess I would have just loved to have seen like a final tribal moment like with these players, for them to be like, this was my game, I fucking duped all of you, you thought I was in a relationship with you, like
maybe that's how the fan vote or like the fan favorite vote should go. Maybe could go. Like that's how it ends up kind of happening. It's because it's the people, the audience being like seeing everything that everybody's doing. Maybe there could be 2 votes. There could be like fan favorite, and there can be like most strategic. Maybe there could be tiers.
Yeah, because I'd love to see it. I'd love to see these people like break down their game and like be like, this is why I did so well. I just want to see Circle people on Survivor. That's all I want.
Is that what it is? It's going to be Mitchell. Mitchell will probably go over to Survivor. I did see Chloe say on one of her interviews that she's like, you're going to see me on your TV screens very soon or something like that. I think
she's going to be on Love Island.
Love Island. I'm trying to what channel does that come on? See, I feel like it would be something Netflix.
Oh, yeah, because Love Island is CBS.
Like we were joking on Rob as a podcast that she'll be on like make the trifecta and she'll be on Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
So I mean, I could see her being on Love.
I can't see you, but you sound proper fat.
I don't think that would work for Chloe, because Chloe seems to be very she only kind of likes people that are very, very attractive. So I would just be really worried that she would be like falling for somebody that she doesn't find good looking. And I don't know if she could fake it.
Yeah.
Like she'd be like, oh.
What show could she be on then that's on Netflix? Maybe she's like a judge on something.
No. I think that they want to use her as
a contestant.
Mm-hmm.
Watch her be on like Nailed It.
What other I mean, maybe there's a whole new there's a show that they might have been doing, because I think I told you guys, but I submitted for The Circle just to see if I could get in there, even though I'm Canadian. And then they sent me Jet Set. It's like some new show that they were casting. Actually, let me see if I can find it. I'll read you the description of it.
Yes.
Because maybe it's that show, because
oh my God, what if you're on it with Chloe?
I mean, I didn't get anywhere like like at all. Where is it?
She only likes people that are attractive.
Okay. So, okay, a while ago you registered your details to take part in the Circle US. Although we don't have any news about a future series of the Circle US at the moment, you may remember ticking a box asking to hear about other programs we make here at Studio Lambert. So we hope you don't mind us getting in touch out of the blue to tell you that we're casting a brand new series called Jet Set is well underway. Jet Set is a brand new reality game show for a major streaming network, Netflix, and we are looking for contestants to take part. Contestants will be transported to a beautiful tropical location to live together and face a series of challenges and dilemmas as they compete for a chance to win a big cash prize. If you're interested in being considered for this exciting new series, please click on the link below, follow the instructions on how to apply, and a member of the casting team will be in touch if they can take your application further. So that's Jet Set. I feel like that's like in her alley, like her laneway of the things that she likes.
Yeah. She likes being in a bikini on television.
Exactly. There you go. And so if they're casting for that, it seems like it's also for Netflix. A lot of the people that went through the Circle filter are going to be on this Jet Set filter. It's probably trying to rival maybe a Love Island type gig. You know what I mean? Like with some competition in there.
Yeah.
So kind of
is there going to be a season 2 of Too Hot to Handle?
I think, isn't that starting like next week?
Yeah, it is. How are they going to do that? Because everyone's going to know. Like everyone.
Well, how did they do X on the Beach? Have you watched that?
Oh, like, no, X on the Beach.
Oh my God, like we're here, we're singles, we're hanging out. Like, oh my God, my ex is coming. Like they're like
they know.
They just know what they're getting themselves into. They may pretend like they don't know, but and maybe they applied for something else not Too Hot to Handle. Like maybe it was like new game show for singles, and they're like, oh, I'll apply, and then they don't realize it's Too Hot to Handle. Maybe.
Oh, maybe like they get there and then they realize, oh, actually, you're on Too Hot to Handle.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
They definitely are going to be lying to them. To see if we have the date here. Is arriving on Netflix in June 2021. So next month. Yes. That's fun. Super fun.
I watched Too Hot to Handle the day after the Circle premiere. I watched all of Too Hot to Handle, and it is a mess.
It's a mess. It's a mess. It was terrible. Something we didn't talk about is, did you see how Brian, he had a whisper in the nighttime that asked him to shave his head and rebirth himself as Ikar? It's a Greek name. I don't remember what it means. I mean, I've definitely heard of people going to India and having some spiritual gurus like touch them and give them a new name of the light. Like I do understand that is part of some sort of spiritual enlightenment processes, but it just seems to me a little bit contrived coming from Bryant, who went on a Netflix dating show, to be like all of a sudden like, oh, I've been touched by the spirit. Like it just seems like,
I believe that this is real. I don't believe that this is real for you.
Exactly. It seems a little bit contrived.
Yeah.
You're on Netflix and doing that. You know what I mean? It's just like you were on America's Next Top Model. Not to say that spiritual people can't live on these reality shows. Like I do have my own spirituality that I deal with, you know, but like there's just something about it just seems a little bit like
this is my moment. I'm on television. I'm going to do it now. That's what it felt like.
So spiritual. I definitely thought though, okay, so what did you think about how all the people came in? So Chloe was the first one that came into the dinner. She gets met by obviously her catfish. Go ahead.
I will say, I predicted the order last week.
I thought that Courtney and River would have flipped. I thought Courtney coming into all of them would have been kind of like, whoa, that would be cool, you know?
Oh, that would have been fun. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that would have been fun. I did like the order because it was like, of course, Chloe has to come in first.
Yes, I knew that was 100%.
Of course she does. Of course, Trevor has to come in next.
What do you think about the fact that they alert them on who is coming next?
I was like, why?
I don't get that.
That's never been the thing.
Well, they did it for the Circle UK 3, but they hadn't done that before. That was the first time they did that. Yeah. I'm like, don't tell them. I want them to be like, okay, who are you? Or who are you supposed to be? Like, that's hilarious. I want them
to be like Chloe should be sitting there. Delisa walks in and you're like, no.
You're like, who are you?
Like, you have to, I want her to sit there and have to like go through the Rolodex in her mind and be like, is this River? Is this Courtney? Is this Trevor? Is this John? Like, oh my God. And then she has to guess who it is. Like, I want that to be the case. I want her to sweat.
Oh my God. Wouldn't that be fun? Like, guess who? Who do you think I am?
Yeah. That's fun. That happened on season 1, right?
I don't think that they told them who was coming.
Rebecca came in, and I think it was Shuby who was there, and Rebecca was like, guess who I am? And they guessed that it was like, they guessed that I think they guessed that Rebecca was Joey.
I don't remember.
I just know that they guessed that Rebecca was not Rebecca.
I mean, I think I like that moment better personally. So I don't know why they need to let them know who's coming so they can be like, like it's, I think a better reaction is like, I don't know who you are. Who are you? And trying to figure it out. I think that's more interesting for me.
I want them to be gagged.
Yes. Be like, and then like having Courtney come in and be like, who are you guys? I only know Chloe.
Who are these people?
Actually, that'd be funny if Chloe and Chloe and Courtney came in last and they just walked in and they just see all these people that they're like, I don't know who anybody is here. Well, they would know who Jack and Lisa were, but like, why are you guys here?
Yeah. I will, something that I've thought about too on season 3 of UK, when you have a 2-person profile and they make it to the finale and there's only 5 chairs out, where does the 6th chair come from?
Well, I'm sure that production brought them another chair.
But do they just walk in and then they're like, oh, there's only 5 chairs here, awkward. Like that.
I didn't even notice that actually. So you're saying that like the original setup was only 5 chairs?
Yeah, like you walk in and there's 5 chairs, but then there's 6 people that have to sit down, and there's just like this big empty space where there's no plate set up.
Just to dupe them?
Like it's like because they have the big table and everything else is like placed like evenly apart. But if you go and you look, there's like a big space between 2 of the chairs for the 6th person. But I'm like, that's so obvious.
I guess they make it think they're like, oh, this is where the camera's gonna go. Maybe,
yeah.
Like maybe they're just like, oh, like they'll do like the camera guy comes in there, and then they're like, oh, like let's rearrange this now that the 6th person comes in, and they put the 6th placement down.
Probably.
I never noticed that.
But like if next time you see it, next time there's a Circle season and a 2-person profile makes it there's a big ass space on the table.
That's hilarious, and I'm actually going to I'm back and like research that because that's so funny.
Big ass space on the table. You're like, okay.
Do you think that the entire season, like with Lance Bass on there, was so that he could make a cameo at the finale holding his dog? Was that what it was all about?
Yes, I full on believe that Lance Bass was like, Lisa, you're going on this show.
Well, like he's doing the rounds. Like I think I mentioned last week, he's on Lisa Vanderpump's Overserved. I saw him in the preview. Saw him on Drag Race. He's on this. He officiated Brittany and Jax's wedding.
Lance Bass is like, I will be relevant, and if I have to go on all of these reality shows, I will do it.
Yes, do it, Lance. I don't
Lance,
want to see Lance.
You pimp out your assistant and you make her compete on this show poorly. You make her give us nothing, Lance Bass.
Well, Lance apparently said that to Lisa, like, oh yeah, you did a really good job, but you said some things that I would never say. And we're like, we know. You
he
would
roasted
never.
her for the NSYNC tour, and we're like, we know. Yeah. Everyone else did too.
So bad. What did you think about the host? Like, I don't mind her voiceover stuff, but I wish she was a little bit more engaging or something. Like, I'm not sure what it is, but there's a little bit of a disconnect with her that I'm not like that excited by her. Like, she's a comedian, like she should be kind of funny. But she's kind of a little bit fell flat for me.
I think she's fierce. Like, I think she looks great. Like, she's funny. She's awesome. Her voiceovers are great. Some of the best, I'd say really the only better voiceovers are like Love Island and maybe Too Hot to Handle, you know. But her voiceovers are hilarious. But she for sure is like kind of awkward in the finale setting. Like, it seems like she doesn't know what to say. And she doesn't know how to interview people.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe that. It's just, I was like, oh, this is, I would rather just like see more of them like talking about their game in the circle and like, oh my God, I can't be said this. Like, I want to see more fallout of like, I was a super influencer. I was a joker. Like, I want to hear more of that stuff. Like, I didn't really need her to ask questions of the pre-finalists and like, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like all that, like she was told to do that, but
yeah, I know.
It was still awkward. Like she didn't know how to like engage with people to get them to like say interesting answers, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you watch the finale of the most recent season of The Bachelor, the guy that replaced Chris Harrison nailed it. That guy was so good. He was like, I'm going to read all of you people to filth, and I'm also going to be engaging to the people that I like. And he nailed it. It was great.
I was thinking like, we'll cut to The Bachelor for a second. I was thinking that he was kind of into Michelle. And I was like, oh yeah, wouldn't like him and Michelle make an interesting little duo? Like he seemed like
see him on her season of The Bachelorette.
Or maybe she won't have one because they will start dating beforehand.
I love it. Oh my God. Ugh, what if they do?
I mean, I don't know if she was into him, but I would be here for it if he decided to like make an appearance on there, being like, I couldn't let the season go by without like telling you how I felt.
Wouldn't that be a gag?
Yes. Do it!
It can be like the girl from Matt's season who rented a van to go stop the show mid-season.
Heather?
I rented this van to see you.
And like the producers are such trollers. Like they make her like drive up to the mansion in the van. Like, you jerks.
Ball gown.
And then leaves and just like takes off in the van. Like
they're like, crying. Okay, bye, Heather, get back in your van. I'm so glad. Chantele, I know we're like derailing so hard from the circle to this episode, but so sorry, y'all. But on my my Bachelor podcast I do with my best friend Kendra, we talk about the rented van so much.
Like, well, she stayed in like a motel and stuff like that. Like, I don't know what's true or what's not true, but like I don't know if the producers actually wanted her to be there or not. And it seems as though like she forced herself into that situation and that it wasn't fully sanctioned by production.
That's wild because it seemed like production like forced her to be there and was like, no, you're doing all this. And homegirl literally rented a van. No.
Like, could she have rented like a nice car?
Stop. I'm literally going over to my best friend who I do the podcast with. I'm going over to her house after this. I cannot wait to tell her that. Oh my God. You'll have to come and be on our 100%.
Talk about Katie. Let's talk about Katie.
Oh my God. So let's talk about this the season as a whole. Let's go over some of our superlatives for this. And since we can't really say top influencer for this episode, let's just do like top moment of the whole season. Like, what moment of the season were you just like, yes, like when you think season 2 of The Circle US, like what moment are you like your friend has never seen it, you're like, this is why you have to watch it, because of this goop, this gagatron.
The reveal of the mannequin, Jack's mannequin, and the sad music, and him just shrinking down to the ground, crying it's like, it was so funny. And then after, like, I think I showed you guys the one, like the TikTok with the flip book, and it's like a collection coat. Like, it was just so bad, and it was just so funny that was probably one of the most memorable moments of the season for me, because like this is sad music and that face of the mannequin. It was so bad. That's it for me. That is the top influencer moment, that mannequin head.
The mannequin head is the top. Yeah. No, really, when people think of the season, that's what they'll think of. My top influencer moment, if I had to be like, man, you got to watch this season just for this alone. What would it be? I guess it would have to honestly be the gag of John. I really liked John's whole bit. Like John, like I know that's kind of like out of left fucking field because John didn't really do anything, but I was truly gagged when the two of them like came in to be one profile. I didn't expect the two of them to like work together. I didn't expect Lisa and Jack to like join forces like that. And in that moment when they both thought they were going to go see someone else and then they walked into their new apartment, I was gagged. I was.
Yeah. I think that was a pretty good like shock moment. Also, I hear that Lisa and Jack are still like pretty close and they talk quite often. I was like, okay, you guys, I guess you had to live together for a couple weeks. That's something. I mean, that's a pretty good moment. I still wish that it was Tara, Lisha, and Savannah that had that moment, because why wouldn't they have done that? I'm not sure.
If they knew that this was going to be a gag, why didn't they?
I don't know.
Why didn't they?
Maybe they were always saving it because they wanted or Lisa to stay in as long as she could.
I think so too. I think they're like, man, we got to keep Lance Bass up in here. I think they saved it for Lance Bass specifically.
So they can have the cameo at the end with Lance saying like, hey to River. So.
Yeah. But I was gagged. That was a fun twist. But I think the funniest moment though, to go along with your mannequin head, was the collection of it all.
Right?
What are your 3 favorite makeup brands? Maybelline and Collection Co.
And then you do that makeup on that mannequin.
Work.
And she's such a cute little influencer, like looking girl, like it just all just did not work.
We're fucking under boobs out, like yeah, okay, girl.
And then just do that makeup, and then no makeup brands, like it just
Jack, not the tea, not the tea. God, okay. So bottom ranked. What was the dud? Like, if you're like, man, I wish I could just take this out. Like, if you could get rid of one thing in the season, be like, that didn't happen. This was gone. Get rid of it. It's out of there. What would it be?
it might be that Lisa played Lance Bass, because I think that the whole gag of that was that she's playing Lance Bass, but I don't think that she was a compelling person in this environment. She didn't seem to have any strategic chops. It didn't seem like she was a fan of the show. It didn't seem like she was that great at engaging with people and like making good connections. And even when she was working with Jack, it did feel for me that Jack did all the work and she just said, yes, I agree. That's good. Good. Yeah. We should do that. So she was more agreeing with what Jack did instead of like kind of bringing her own idea to who John was. So I feel like her as a player was a little bit just the gimmicks of like who she's catfishing as, not what she really brought to either of the characters.
Yeah, totally.
So, anybody could have played both of those characters equally or better,
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Lisa kind of fell flat kind of the whole season. She didn't really do anything that was too notable. Like we did get some funny moments of just being like, what is this woman doing? Trying
it's only because she's short. Is that what the gag is? Like she's a lot shorter than Jack. Is that why she was, like
yeah.
And she can't dance?
Yeah. It was funny to watch her try and be Lance Bass. Like it was so stupid that it was like good TV to watch someone be like, this is what I'm doing. We're like, what? But like it doesn't make for like good gameplay, and it just kind of like felt like I would have rather seen like a strong player here. Well,
I think that anybody could have played Lance Bass better than she did.
Yeah. Absolutely, because it didn't sound like Lance Bass at all. I mean, I don't fucking know Lance Bass, but
like
it wasn't the tea. Not the tea, not that, not today.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody else. Or maybe Bryant also, kind of like
maybe the Savannah Terralisha drama. But we lived for it. We lived for it.
No, that's fine. I can keep that drama. I was just shocked that like they would throw away their game just to die on that hill. But
I know,
like, fine, people do what they want to do. But Bryant also, I was just kind of like, if you're not planning on winning, why are you here? I want people that want to win.
To get more screen time. That Bryant gave me big, like, I'm here to get more screen time energy.
Like, I want to launch my breathwork course and I want to have everybody following me and I'm going to be the ultimate breatharian,
That's what it felt like. It felt very much like my brand.
Yes, this is who I am now.
Yeah, very that.
Icar.
Well, y'all, I think that this takes us to the end of our Circle Chat series. I know, this has been so fierce, Chantele. I've loved it.
My mom loves it too. She's like, "Oh, I love you." Like, speaking with I don't know them, but I know Josh from the class of 2020, and like Alex, like you guys are so great. I love your dynamic. Like my mom watches all of my podcasts. I don't know how she has the time, but like she watches for sure, and she really enjoyed this dynamic. So
I love it.
She's here for it.
So fun. Well, y'all, look out for it because Chantele and Couch Potato Queens and myself will for sure be doing stuff together in the future. This has been so fierce. I have loved spending these Saturdays with you, Chantele.
Well, me too. It's a happy Saturday to me every week for this last month, and now it's over.
I know.
We should figure out some off-season something to do just to occupy this time slot.
Yes, we will absolutely be doing something.
Maybe we could do a rewatch of something old.
That'd be fun. I love that. If anyone has ideas, please let us know. Like shoot us a message, send something to us on one of our many contact platforms, which are
look at that. The magic of television. Yes, find me on Twitter at Shan___Fran, on Instagram at ShanFranFran, and obviously on YouTube at Reality Realness with 3 S's.
Yes.
Still, what am I doing right now? I'm only really doing the Challenge All-Stars Friday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're just like talking about how much we love the season. And is that all that I'm doing right now? And one last episode recap of Australian The Amazing Race on Tuesday. And then am I like have nothing to do?
Wow.
I had a podcast every day this week, at least one, and now I'm going to have none?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Like, take some time for you.
No, let's figure out what we need to do. Okay, we're going to figure this out.
You can follow me at alexknowsitall.jpg on pretty much anything. And also make sure you follow, that is the ticker, not what I need. I do this all the time because Josh usually clicks these. Here we go. Couch Potato Queens, QWNZ on YouTube or on Twitter, and then Couch Potato Queen spelled normally on YouTube. Give us a subscribe, like, follow, whatever. We love it and love to see you all here. Josh and myself and our other Couch Potato Queen, Sam, go live every Friday at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race and everything going on in the universe. The Runiverse.
When does Down Under get released?
It started 2 weeks ago, so we're on episode 2 that came out today.
Okay, is that today? Okay, because I was looking for it yesterday, thinking that it came out on Fridays.
It's on Wow Presents Plus.
Okay. So I'm gonna I mean, I did find, though, I don't know if you find this the same, is that I don't know who everybody is. I couldn't tell the difference between everybody. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know who's who. And the only queen that I was interested in seeing their story went home. And I was like, okay, what's happening?
I know. I mean, I was kind of bummed about that. Like you're gonna do like down UK or not UK, you're gonna do Drag Race Down Under. And you're going to have one native queen and send her home first. I don't know. It kind of seemed weird. But
agreed.
I know. And then everyone's just kind of like, oh, look, yes, the thin white queens. Here they are.
Right. Well, Karen from finance, but I heard that she had some maybe racist tweets or something. I heard that she might have some scandal or something.
What happened with Karen from finance is she had a tattoo of a racist collectible doll.
Oh.
So it was like these dolls that were like made in the 1920s that were like essentially based off of like minstrel like performers. Oh. And she did
like a doll that had blackface on it, basically, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's not great.
I guess like Australia is like fucking behind the times, which is not an excuse, but it was something that was like given to her by like a great grandparent or some relative, did not realize that it was horrible, got a tattoo of it when she was in like 18 or 19, found out that it was racist and got it covered up a year later. And then she released a post about it before anyone else found out about it. She was like, I just want to let you know I got this tattooed, but then I covered it up. So I think she's fine. But then
was it Fix It? I don't know the names of these
Scarlett
people.
Adams.
Scarlett, that's it.
The other one who I do not think is in the clear because she has performed in blackface and performed in many other cultural faces as well. So if you want to be very angry, look up Scarlett Adams blackface.
Oh boy. Okay, something to do. And let's definitely reconvene and figure out what we could do in the off seasons between now and I know that we're going to do something for Big Brother US, but I'm sure we can figure out something to start up maybe next Saturday. I don't want to give up this time slot. It's for you guys.
Oh no, we love it. We love it. We will absolutely talk. And y'all let us know if you guys have any ideas or anything you would like to see. Chantele, this has been awesome. And we will reconvene and hopefully be onto something soon. We will see y'all. Bye, guys.